So yeah, that is the NPD, and now we're gonna move over to Stephen Totillo interview from Kotaku. So if you want to read this interview, which you probably should, you're gonna want to head over to Kotaku because the man sat down with Phil Spencer, and Phil Spencer had a lot to talk about. But I'm not gonna talk about the whole interview. What I'm gonna talk about actually is the stuff that I found the most interesting, and I'm not going to be doing direct quotes. I'm going to just basically talk about the stuff. And again, if you want to see that, it's on Kotaku, and it's a really, 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 really good interview. Now, I'm going to do this from basically the least exciting thing. They're all exciting. It's the reason I'm mentioning it, but the least exciting to the most exciting. So I'm going to start with the fact that he was actually asked about the idea of using Xbox Ones in the future as cloud devices for you to play your Game Pass games, Series X games right off that through the cloud. And he said basically right now the priority is iOS and Android and stuff like that, PC and things like that. But after that, definitely that is a thing that they could do, and they definitely could do it in this generation, and they definitely have the technology already to do it. They just have to do it. So expect that to happen. And the reason why this is exciting to me is because this just goes into what I've been talking about now for 3 years here, basically. Right? 3 years about, the next step is going to be a Fire Stick like device for Game Pass, right? And yeah, this just hints more towards it. They know that they can use what's already in people's homes as a cloud device. That's Xbox Ones. They got 50 million of those out there, right? And once they do that technology, what's going to stop them from having an app on TVs, built into TVs? Maybe they'll do, a partnership with Samsung and stuff like that. And I mean, they already got one with the phone, right? And they market Game Pass. I see it in the ads, so I could easily see that being a thing in Samsung TVs. But for people who don't have a smart TV, HDMI capable little like Fire Stick device, plug that right in and stream your, brand new Xbox Series X games without owning the Xbox Series X. That is the next step. So yeah, him saying that they basically have the technology and it's basically in the pipeline. It's just right now the order of importance is getting this damn thing on iOS, and it's smart. They know that that market right there is gigantic. So in the ideal world, they could do it all at once, but we're in the middle of a pandemic. There's a lot of things going on. And the fact that they're so ahead already of their competition with this stuff, it's like, what's the rush, really? You know what I'm saying? What's the rush? At the end of the day, any move Sony makes on cloud gaming, they're going to be doing it with the Azure service, which are Microsoft, so they'll be eating off that anyway. Anyway, Microsoft already got themselves set up where Sony's success is going to be theirs. You know what I'm saying? And in that front, and with the few games that now are first party and are still scheduled to come out exclusively on PlayStation 5. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. The next thing he talked about was Nintendo support, and he basically mentioned it's unsustainable in its current form. Basically, citing the fact that every conversation they've had has been easy. From getting the characters in Smash, that's all been easy. From Ori, all of that stuff has been easy. The Minecraft stuff, the crossplay stuff, all of that has been a cakewalk. But when it comes to them putting Game Pass, Xbox Live on the on the actual hardware, it's been a problem, and that right there is what makes it unsustainable because everything that they do right now is really intertwined with Xbox Live, Game Pass, that whole experience, the Xbox ecosystem. And if they can't put that on it, then it's like, yeah, we can't do everything we want to do. Like, and basically the way they would allow it doesn't sit well with us. So obviously, they are both separate entities, and they're gonna have different views on things. We know how Nintendo is with online stuff, and hell, this is you basically saying, hey, listen, don't buy your third party games on Nintendo console, just get them on Game Pass. So there's a lot of things, moving parts, that I could see why Nintendo's like, fuck out of here with that. You know what I'm saying? And I respect it. Like, you can't be like, oh, Nintendo just accept. Nah. I love Game Pass. It's great for gaming. I will buy into the ecosystem where it is because it's so good and it's a cheap thing. You know what I'm saying? Once you're in there, I'm not gonna force it on Nintendo. Do I want them to have a competitor to it? Absolutely. Everybody does. Even the people who claim that they don't care for a Game Pass like experience. Yes, you do. You're just lying. Like all fanboys lie to say that they don't need the thing that their console doesn't do. You know what I mean? We've seen it a million times. I'm over it. It would be great. But they say it's unsustainable. So don't expect Master Chief anytime soon on your Nintendo unless he's gonna be included in Smash Brothers. Now, the final thing I wanted to mention from this was the recouping the cost of a 7.5 billion investment, which is the ZeniMax Bethesda deal. You know what I'm saying? And his answer was basically like the question was asked, like, oh, can you do it basically, with just the Xbox ecosystem? And he immediately answered yes. He immediately said yes, and he's not wrong. And then he went more into detail and broke it down. People just keep putting that little snippet where he just says yes and trying to make it like it's like a whole arrogant thing. No, he broke it down. He's like, dude, like we got games on PC now. We got xCloud, which is taking off. It's really taking off. We got Xbox Ones out there, and we got the Series X. And remember, they can leverage those Xbox Ones in the future as a cloud device, so for people who can't buy into a new hardware, they can say, oh, yo, you want to play this brand new experience? You can play it through the cloud. It's the only way you're going to be able to play it. Get a Game Pass subscription and enjoy. But yeah, him saying that they could hit the 7.5 billion, absolutely, without being on PlayStation, absolutely. And that's not him being arrogant. That's not trying to hate. It's just the truth. They are spread out now a lot. And these games are going to bring in consumers. You know what I'm saying? Microsoft right now is in a better space than they've been probably ever when it comes to the narrative around their console, around their hardware. It's really, really, really positive. And there's a lot more people I see who are jumping into the Xbox ecosystem now more than ever. A lot of first timers, a lot of people coming back. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to play this game with Sony now of, oh yeah, only up to the PlayStation 4. Maybe the next one will be PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, but the other ones will always be abandoned. The other consoles. Well, until they do their cloud stuff, and everything will be fine eventually. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I find it hilarious that people are a little salty about this. Like, if it's not the case that Microsoft can't, make the money back, they absolutely can through Game Pass subscriptions, through everything. Like, they can absolutely make it back. And not can, they absolutely will make it back. So him answering immediately, like, yeah, like, absolutely. You don't need to put these games on Sony. And nobody should expect these games on Sony. You know what I'm saying? Xbox is always doing the little nice thing here and there. And then you look at everybody else. Nobody giving them anything. They've been cool with everybody else. And people say, oh, yeah, they got to do that because they losing. It's like, all right, cool. But if they're not going to get any credit for being cool, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, people shit on them for they don't got exclusives. Like, literally the way the narrative is around, let's say Gears Tactics. The first time you can play this on Xbox, you can choose to play this day one, no different from Breath of the Wild, on Xbox One or the Series X. No different from Spider-Man. And this game is 100% optimized for the Xbox Series X. Day one on November 10th. But that game is being downplayed like, oh yeah, it's a port of a PC game. Jesus Christ. Like, if that's a negative, like, PCs don't run games better than consoles. That's like if in the future, when Flight Simulator is finally going to come out on a console, and that's when I'm finally going to play it, and it's going to be brand new to me, they're going to be like, oh yeah, but it's a port of a PC game. Like, it don't count. It counts. Breath of the Wild counted. Spider-Man going to count, right? When people get their console day one. If you ain't playing it on PS4, you're going to count that as a PlayStation 5 game. Now, listen. The point is that the Xbox stuff, there's always an asterisk on the side because of their consumer-friendly nature. And I haven't done that at all on this podcast. I haven't used that as a negative. I haven't used the fact that they've been using the fact that they got all of these games playable on day one. Like, dude, that is an achievement. That is a revolutionary achievement because it's never been done. But we won't give them credit because it's Xbox. If it was anybody else, if Nintendo was coming out with a hardware right now, I mean, we did this already. We did this with the Wii, and we gave them all the credit in the world. So if you go from Xbox to Xbox 360 to Xbox One, and then say all those games are going to look and play better than they ever did on previous hardware, and then you throw in the Series X stuff, and those, like, how can you not give it credit? And then you throw in Game Pass on top of that, which a lot of those games aren't in that service, and you'll be able to play them right through there at the best quality you can possibly play them anywhere, unless you got a super expensive PC. You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you not give that credit? But again, you already know why. You know what it is. It is what it is. No matter what they do, people are going to automatically hate. I remember being in this position with Nintendo. Now Microsoft is in this position, and you could easily get out of this position. It's super easy to do, and I think they will easily do that soon enough. So yeah, that Kotaku interview is really good. There's a lot of other things in there, but definitely check it out if you are interested. Now let's move on to the fact that I talked about this last week, the Xbox ad, and I compared it to the PlayStation ads. Those ads that show a girl shooting an arrow, shows a guy on a boat going through water, and nothing gaming related being there. None of that equals game, represents game. And I said last week, I was like, man, this ad, you can only see the hands. I didn't see the fact that this ad, yes, it stars Daniel Kaluuya. And if you don't know who that is, that's the dude from, Get Out. I could just say Get Out. I don't got to go down his discography, which is not a discography, his filmography. You know what I'm saying? I don't got to go down that. He's in plenty of things now, Queen and Slim and stuff like that. But anyway, he's in the ad. But last week I didn't see him in the ad. All I saw that there was pirate ships, and I said, I bet you those pirate ships are Assassin's Creed. The ad came out. I watched the ad. It's really good, and it's really good. That ad actually in 4K. Like I watched it in 1080p first, then I watched it in 4K, and I was like, holy shit! There was a clear difference. It's crazy. But anyway, that ad is really cool, and everything I said last week that I said, I bet you this ad is going to focus on games and all the realistic stuff you're going to see, which Sony did well in previous generations. You're going to see them do that, and they did. And you see him in the you see Daniel in the damn Master Chief suit, and then it's like a cool transition where he's looking at the helmet, and then it turns like into a planet. You see a giant like ship, which I'm guessing is probably Cortana, who's controlling it and is sucking in the planet. Like it looks like it's sucking out like the goddamn essence of it, but then you see like something fly out of it and hit the planet, and it's Master Chief, and it's a nice ad. You know what I'm saying? Like a really nice ad, and it's gaming related. And during AEW, I saw this ad a whole bunch this Wednesday, a whole bunch. So I know they showed it during any of the sports games and stuff like that. I'm sure they showed it for sure. They showed it during the playoffs and all of that, the finals and all of that good stuff. Basketball. I'm sure they showed it during all of that, and yeah, man, like I was just like, this is a really cool ad, and proved my point of what I was saying last week, that it's gonna be better than Sony's ad. And it is, and it's already being played. And yet still nothing for PlayStation, still no ads for PlayStation. I see the Taco Bell ads for Xbox, which are very Halo focused, which is sad because the game isn't coming out. Just like that Daniel Kaluuya ad doesn't represent the actual launch, because a lot of Halo in there isn't going to be there at launch. But you can play the collection and you can catch up. And a lot of people will be jumping into the ecosystem. And the fact that they'll be able to play those games with their friends who also got the console just now and got the subscriptions, that's going to be dope. You know what I'm saying? So by the time that they get to Halo, you're going to have new fans who are going to be interested in jumping into that experience. I know that's what happened to me, so I don't see why that wouldn't happen to anyone else. You know what I'm saying? And I was somebody who didn't really care, and I played Halo in the past, and I still didn't care. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like, yeah, now I care. It worked out like that. But yeah, this ad just proves the point, man. Like everything surrounding the PlayStation has been weak, man. The way they've been doing stuff has been weak, and I'm not saying that to hate. It's just the case. And if this was Nintendo's console rollout, I would have said the same damn thing. But that's not the case. And it wasn't the case with the Switch. You know what I'm saying? The Switch, you know what it was. It was real tight and delivered. You had all the NX hype, then they showed the thing, then they gave a date, and then you got the date, and then you got the games, and gang. And the story is basically still continuing now. They basically recouped all the losses from last generation, which I ain't mad at them for doing. I'm mad as just a player. Like, yeah, there's not a lot of new stuff for me. But the fact that, yeah, on this console, the body of work now does include Mario Galaxy and includes stuff like Xenoblade, from the Wii and stuff like that. Yeah, you throwing Trilogy in there. This body wise of work, it is gonna be like the best Nintendo console out there. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take a minute to get there. Like, you gotta remember, the Wii U is a beast. It had so much backwards compatibility, and you could play every Zelda game on there, every Metroid game, and it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Damn near every Metroid game. You couldn't play Metroid 2 on it, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, point is, this ad is really good, man. I don't know how I got to talking about Metroid just now. That's serious. But anyway, the ad is really good, and I really do like the fact that Xbox has continued to be transparent. And that's saying that I was going to say, matter of fact, that in the Kotaku interview, Phil Spencer said a couple times, oh yeah, that's our whole thing of being transparent. Now, I was saying that before everybody was saying that. I was saying that since the Game Awards. And I was saying, oh, I like, the transparency. And after that, and then with the Digital Foundry, I've been saying, singing this song, right? the whole year saying, yo, the transparent, and now seeing everybody else say, I was like, see, telling you, not crazy at all. You know what I'm saying? I just be ahead of the curve where it takes people longer to catch on to what's going on. I'm telling y'all, you know what I'm saying? I was telling y'all in 2018, the game had all of this. Like, yo, this is the way, this is what I think, this is what I think. And look, we here now. And it's beautiful. And I told y'all when people was hating on the game showcase. Oh, where's the gameplay? Like, yo, that's the PlayStation hater. That's the narrator. They'll take anything and try to hate. And I'm like, nah, yo, they show games. Like, these games are gonna be hot. Like, a lot of games from watching the Future Game Show, from watching Summer Games, from watching all these events. I didn't like. I don't know about other podcasts. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't act like there wasn't no E3 this year. Y'all know I kept y'all informed. Mad Games did the crazy detailed trailers, links, and previous podcasts and everything. I made the summer as interesting as I can make it without a E3. You know what I'm saying? I say because I mean, you're gonna do this, you gotta try. You gotta put in some effort. You don't know how many times I listen to podcasts out there that claim to be the best podcasts out there, and all they do is, oh yeah, yo, there's not much to talk about this week. And I'm like, yo, there was like 4 game shows. And this was all summer long, and I'm covering all these games. I'm like, nobody covering this, nobody covering this. And I don't say that shit to hate. It just got to be pointed out. Like, yeah, nah, I'm putting in the effort to sit there and watch this stuff, to watch this content, and really, give impressions on it and thoughts on it, while these other people just, like, cruising. I'm like, for real? All right, whatever you say. You know what I'm saying? When I claim best podcast, I claim it because of the effort that I know that I put in. You heard? I know that I put in. So anyway, Microsoft is putting in effort, and it shows, and I like it. You know what I'm saying? And through my efforts, you can see the link of everything just coming full circle. And after that summer show, I said the narrative will switch the closer we get to launch. When people see these prices, when people see the difference in the consumer friendliness, the narrative is going to be there. You can't change the narrative of the truth, of the fact. The truth the last time was that they were on their TV time. The truth this time is that what they're doing for gamers is unmatched. And if you're unmatched, that means you're doing something completely different from your competition, which means that you're in a blue ocean. Of course, you're going to get noticed, you're going to get recognition, and your innovation and your being ahead of the curve on so much stuff is going to be rewarded. I felt this since I jumped into the ecosystem, and I was rewarding that ecosystem, and it was rewarding me back with a whole bunch of freeness. Point is, yeah, it's like, that's why I like the idea of it. It's like, oh yeah, you can wait to get an Xbox. I'm like, why? If you're not in that ecosystem, get it now. You're going to have so much high games to play. They just confirmed Gears 5 is going to be optimized. I said, hell, I'll play through that again. That was a fun single-player experience. And again, that's a co-op experience that you can play with someone else. This is what I'm saying. Like, the experience people are going to be having when they jump into this ecosystem and they're not worrying about paying for Xbox Live. They just paying for Game Pass Ultimate, and they friend got it, and then they see the collection of games that they could download and they could choose to play together, like Forza Horizon and brand new Jiggly Wiggly Series X style, and Destiny, which I am going to play because I'm like, Halo ain't coming out. I might as well play the Destiny DLC, which is going to be all Series X up in December. Try that out, see how that is. It's Bungie, you know what I'm saying? I liked a lot of their games. Why not? I look at it and I say, yo, it's going to be really cool out here, man. Really cool out here to own the Xbox. And it's going to be real depressing out here to own a PlayStation 5 at the early stage. And I'm not saying that to hate, because look, Spider-Man's gonna be cool, but you're gonna be done with it mad quick. I know I've said this 1,000 times, but it's the truth. It's not Breath of the Wild. It's not. It doesn't have that wow factor, and it doesn't have that last you a wild factor. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that. It's not a long online experience. Not like, yo, it's not long. You don't got online, and that is the same case for the 10-year-old remake, which is impressive. I've said it before, it is impressive, but it is a remake. You're done with that. What are you playing? Are you playing that Destruction All Stars, whatever it's called? Is it good? Or are you gonna go play Rocket League again? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But this one, what I know is that the person who's never been in the Xbox ecosystem, you're gonna have stuff to play. And if you've been there this whole time, I know you got stuff to play. I've got stuff I'm playing stuff right now on top of stuff that I'm still playing. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep Taurus over there. Started playing Katana Zero, which I'm gonna talk about later. I played a stage of Doom the other day, but I'm like, damn, I'm trying to wait for the Series X. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wait. And it's like, yo, there's so much stuff to play. Like absolutely just crazy stuff. Like I saw they got the Walking Dead characters in Brawlhalla. I downloaded that. I played that for about an hour the other day. So you had to buy the characters separate. I don't like the gameplay that much. So I'm not gonna buy these characters. You think I would buy these characters in this game before I buy a character in Smash Brothers? Are you crazy? I love the Walking Dead, but goddamn it, not that much to play this shit that I don't like that much. Sorry, Brawlhalla, but it is what it is. Point is, jumping into this ecosystem is going to be real good, real good. And I don't know why I started talking about this, but it's fine. Because I know I went from the Kaluuya ad to, the Xbox Kaluuya ad, let's just call it that, to talking about, oh yeah, Xbox is going to be great. But the fact of the matter is, Microsoft is really being smart. They got an all-digital platform out there. They know retailers aren't going to want to push a digital platform because nobody's going to be coming back to the store who purchased that one-time purchase. This is not a purchase once the box and then come back to purchase more, the software. This is purchase once the box and never come back because software's online. So who's going to want to push that? So what Microsoft just did, a completely crazy... Listen, man, I'm not throwing the blue ocean shit out there for fun. I'm not throwing stuff that I took from... my favorite era of video games. You know what I'm saying? My favorite video game console, my favorite, whatever you want to call them. When you want to call them a video game, a voice on Nintendo Direct, whether you want to call them a goddamn developer, producer, whether you want to call them the president of Nintendo. Listen, I'm not throwing all this Iwata good stuff towards Phil Spencer all year to be cute. It's because I see it. It's the same stuff that Iwata was pushing in 2005, in 2006, the narrative of, oh yeah, a cheaper console, a bunch of developers, It's the same thing. It's him saying, yeah, we're gonna make a $299 console. Yeah, we got a $500 one, but we're gonna make a $299 one. Why? Because we want to be in a completely different market where Sony's not gonna be, and they're not. They're not in that market. You know what I'm saying? The Switch is, but you know what I'm saying? Like Sony's not. So they got such a cheap console, and whenever Sony decides to drop price of their console, they could drop the price to that one. Geniuses, right? But no, take it a bit further. They actually did a deal with GameStop. So I guess Reggie and Phil Spencer had a little sit down, and Phil was like, listen, man, I know you're not going to want to be telling people, yo, get a Series S, it's $299. But I want to change that. With every single Series S that GameStop sells, software sold on those units, points will go to GameStop. The whole damn, a corporation. Like, that's crazy. They're going to get paid just like they would from selling disc digitally when it comes to the S console. So I'm guessing that's not going to be the case with the X. Whatever, you buy digitally off the X isn't going to be, funding GameStop. But this is a crazy deal. And I know out there, a lot of people want GameStop to go away. I don't. You always hear people, oh yeah, GameStop 9, ha ha ha. That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? The same way all these lames out here talk about, yeah, E3 is over with just because Sony says so. No, that ain't me. Honestly, E3 is bigger than Sony and better than Sony. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've never been the best part of E3 for me personally. You know what I mean? But anyway, I never want GameStop to die. You don't know why? Because it's gaming. 100% related to gaming. I don't like nothing gaming related dying because that hurts the medium that I love. I don't know how you love gaming and be like, yo, I want GameStop to die. Yeah, I get you want GameStop to die. No. I want GameStop to get better. Take the trash people out and put better people in position of power. I just mentioned Reggie Fils-Aimé, former president of Nintendo. Moves like that might make it better. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like, I can see people like, oh, yeah, I don't want to do this because I don't want to support games. I'm like, yo, you could support these games, support GameStop, support developers, and hopefully it all gets better. The fact of the matter is when somebody walks into a GameStop, they're going in there to support the shit that you love, the medium that you love. You know what happened when people was like, man, screw, DVDs and mom and pops rental stores. Yeah, they all went out of business, basically. Blockbuster, that was the major one. But the little mom and pops one, they went out of business. So then you only got the digital stuff, obviously, which is great and everything. But still, you should want there to be a place where you can walk into and know that everybody in there has that same common interest. You go into Barnes & Nobles, people in there because they like to read. Right? You go into Starbucks, they like coffee. You get what I'm saying? They go into McDonald's, they like Big Macs and fries, man. So there, they should be a place where you walk in. Because if you're going to Walmart, if you're going to Target, if you're going to Best Buy, you're going in there for a TV. Target, you might be going in there to do a whole goddamn food shopping. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more. You go in there to buy clothes. You can go buy in there also TV. Like, yo, there's so much you could buy at Walmart too. You go in there and buy goddamn guns, which is ridiculous to me. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's the point. You could go in these places and buy anything. The person you see going into the store doesn't equal gaming. GameStop though, every time you walk by GameStop, you see people going in and out of it. You should feel something because people love games and they're supporting that thing. At least that's the way I feel. And I'm not even in the industry in that sense. Well, in the sense I am, right? Because I talk games all the time. But you get what I mean. Like, it's a beautiful thing, man. Love this industry. I know GameStop has lane policies. I hate the fact that when you go and you try to get it. Sometimes this happens to me. Where you go and get a game, they try to pull the game out of the disc, like the disc out of the drawer and then put it in the box. And I'm like, nah, give me a new one. Either sealed or I'm not buying it. Straight up. Like, I remember, what was the last game I bought from GameStop? I don't remember what it was, but I know they pulled that with me with something. And I was like, nah, you bugging. Give me the real damn thing. It usually never happens at midnight launches, and the last time I've been to GameStop, I want to say it was midnight launches, was like Odyssey. So, yeah, they don't really do it with midnight launches because everything is still sealed up. But a lot of the times when you come a little bit after, it's like the one that they were demoing, they be trying to get that rid of, oh yeah, you know, sell that one to him. Nah, I want something completely sealed. And not sealed by y'all where behind the pricing you can see there's a used sticker on it. So you're sending it like it's new again. Yeah, there's little stuff like that that's annoying, obviously. But this is a good move. Now, some people have been claiming, like, oh, this means that when you go into GameStop, they're going to be forcing you to get an Xbox Series S. And I said, oh, God forbid. God forbid they tell people to buy the console that can give them the most games for the cheapest price. God forbid. If anybody was walking into a game store right now, and it was like, oh yeah, you know, I never played video games before, I want to jump into gaming. Most people got Netflix. Most people subscribe to shit. This is the way humans work nowadays. I'm going to say, get an Xbox Series S. You download your games right there, and you play them right. No, excuse me. I'm just get Game Pass, and you just play your games right from there. Any other games you want, like the sports games, you know, if you want the latest year, you can download it. But if you want last year's Madden, it's right there in Game Pass. That shit is a crazy good sell. And saying anything other than that is pretty much being a shitty goddamn person to a person who hasn't got any allegiance. This person don't got no allegiance to any of these first party games or nothing like that. To tell them anything other than that, like, would be crazy to me. That's just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? But and that's me thinking not being biased, you know what I'm saying? Like, in my opinion. So anyway, yeah, let's move on now from the fact that you know, Reggie making things happen over there to the new Age of Calamity trailer, which looks, I mean, every single time you see this game, it just looks better and better. And every single time I think, oh yeah, you know, we basically got an idea of what we're going to get. You know, we're going to see the champion dies. Oh no, there's so much more you don't know. There's so much more that you're going to want to know. And it gets me so goddamn hyped because it is a brand new Zelda game coming out literally in a few weeks. And I know some people don't got the hype because, oh, it's a Musu game. I don't like those games. Dude, it's literally a trailer. Put it like that then. If you don't like Musu game, it's literally an epic ass trailer to the sequel to Breath of the Wild. And a epic ass, you know, I don't like, man, you know what it is, man. It's a goddamn prequel to goddamn Breath of the Wild. I don't know what to tell you. I shouldn't have to sell anybody on this. If you don't want it, then that's cool. I know what I'm gonna be playing on that day. God damn it, I know what I'm gonna be playing. So this trailer, let's get into this trailer real quick. So once we all knew, you know, the game was a prequel, we all expected that we were gonna see, you know, characters from Breath of the Wild, you know, looking younger, taller, probably, possibly being playable because it's a Musou game, and we know that they love to have a bunch of characters playable. So that was exciting, the potential of seeing Impa and stuff like that. But damn, this trailer, we got a brand new Yiga dude who's there with, you know, Master Koga and all that. But we got a brand new Yiga dude who has two blades and is diesel, like even diesel than the, you know, the giant Yiga guys. Like, those are like muscle. This guy's like, he's like muscle, but also, well, the other ones were quick too, but you know, even quicker and stuff like that. Like, there's a shot where he like swings one of his blades at Link and Link dodges it. Like, it looks crazy. Even them being in a town that's right outside of the plateau, and you know, you see them all on the roofs and stuff like that, and Link and Zelda and a bunch of, you know, Hyrule Knights and stuff like that are all just shook and basically ready to get busy. Like, oh, we're about to have a big fight ahead of us. Super cool. But the most interesting thing in this short but sweet and super hype inducing trailer gotta be the wizard at the end. The wizard. Some people feel it's a female. I don't think it's a female at all. I think it's clearly a dude. And people, oh, it got makeup on. I'm like, it's Zelda. Like, what? Like, there's how many characters? We got dudes in skirts, and for real, like, you really gonna use that as a way to say, like, oh yeah, that's clearly a woman. Like, if people I mean, goddamn, most of the villains in Zelda games wear makeup, from damn Girahim, Yiga, Body, all of these characters. Hell, then the women also wear makeup too. Like, everybody wear makeup, so it's a weird thing to be like, oh yeah, that's a woman. Oh, he has long hair. Like, huh? Link has long hair. Ganondorf has long hair. Hell, the Root got long hair. Like, like long hair is everywhere. I think it's a guy, and some people think it's a wizard. I think it's a wizard because it looks like a wizard. He has a giant floating orb that looks like basically the tech of the Guardians, but consumed by evil, by Ganon's malice and all of that. And I'm guessing this is the advisor of the king, and he's the one who's going to betray, and he's the one who's telling, all of Hyrule, oh yeah, dig out these things, they're going to help protect us. And look, you found the goddamn giant, the damn divine beast. You found all different kinds of varieties, big towers that come out the ground, and then he used all of that basically against Hyrule. I think that's who this is. When I first saw him, I was like, oh, could they hint at the Silent Princess? You know what I mean if you watch my other videos. But I was like, nah, they're gonna save that for either the ending of this game or the future, which is Breath of the Wild 2. I think they'll save it for that. But there's clearly gonna be good stuff here that I think is gonna have payoff or resurgence in the sequel. And I think that's what we're seeing, these characters, and they're being introduced. And you can clearly see these characters are designed by the Zelda team. This is not, everything here is designed by the Zelda team. So none of it is like, oh yeah, that's a character designed, by the team, over at who is it? Koei Tecmo, right? Nah, this is this other team who designed that character. That character was stored up for a while. There's stuff in Breath of the Wild that talked about a wizard who was like an advisor to the king. There's a lot of good videos that a lot of Zelda content creators already made that I checked out. You know what I'm saying? That I was like, super cool, super good, super good. Like, and I'm just hype. Like, I can't wait to play this game and see what the story is. The voice acting in there was super cool. The Yiga clan still as goofy as ever, but menacing looking as ever. Cause they make you jump, right? You be running around in Breath of the Wild trying to collect some Koroks or do whatever the case, and you hear ho 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 ho, and then poof, ding 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 ding. Like, yo, you're like, oh crap, you know what I mean? And like all the time, or you just stop and talk to somebody, and they're like, hey man, do you know which way is this way? Oh, really? You don't? That's cool, because you should have known anyway, because you're going to die. Like, and it's a Yiga guy. Stuff like that happens in Breath of the Wild. And I absolutely love it. Now, let's get into talking about the PlayStation 5's UI. So here's the thing. I didn't sit there and watch the whole thing in crazy. I mean, look, I did watch most of it. I will say that. I watched most of it, but I was just looking at it the whole time thinking like, yeah, this right here doesn't look super convenient. Having to scroll by all these cards, everything being cards. I was like, this doesn't look super convenient, whatever. But again, I don't use the PlayStation ecosystem, so I'm not going to speak on that too much. I'm not going to tear it up and hate on it, like I could do for the unboxing and where they put the fastest, USB port and things like that, and just the monstrosity of the size of it, like I did last week. I'm not going to do that. Like, do I think it's the best looking? No. You know what I'm saying? Do I think it's going to be more comfortable to use in the Xbox One? No, I don't. Do I think it's nice that you can have super small tiles on your home screen so you can get more of the background? Absolutely. I think that's awesome. Being able to see more of your background is great. When you go right after this, well, after my little quick impressions of Katana Zero, right after that, when you go and you watch my Xbox, which you should watch it, please do watch it. Worked hard on that. But not only because I worked hard on it, because I want you to see what it is, the experience is. Because when you hear a lot of chatter about, oh yeah, the system is slow, you're going to see a video that's damn near unedited. There's like 2 edits in that video, right? But besides that, it's damn near unedited. And you're going to see how fast everything is, me going into the store, me going into this, And at that, when I started that video, I started from a complete hard reset because I took it from the bedroom to the living room in order to do the whole capture and all of that good stuff. All right. I love it, but I do wish that I can make the tile smaller so that I can see the background, my Age of Calamity background that I have there. But anyway, this is the thing that I wanted to talk about the most. I'm happy that they finally revealed the UI, right? What I'm not happy about that it took them this long. What I'm not happy about is the fact that they had this create button that they act like it was going to be something epic, and guess what? Nothing. Nothing. Weeks out from launch, nothing. They ain't mentioned nothing about that create. I mean, like, yeah, you can watch your friends play games, which is cool. Don't get it twisted. I remember, like, I did that. I was watching my brother play some matches of Call of Duty when he was on Steam. You could do that on Steam. So that's a cool idea. The being able to snap a video, like a helpful video, because there's going to be help tips in there, you know, which is a cool thing, which I remember Sony and Nintendo had patents like this, where it was like things that, you know, you can have a second screen and it'll be showing you basically how to complete a task. So that patent finally came to fruition, which I thought that was cool, right? And the being able to put it like on you know, like basically picture in picture mode, I thought that was great because you've heard me say this on this very podcast. I said the one thing that I would add that they removed when they dropped all the Connect stuff was the fact that on Xbox, I remember before it came out, I thought it was the coolest shit ever. I thought it was better than the Wii U TV bullshit button. They had a way for you to either be watching a Netflix show or a Hulu show or a YouTube video on one tab, like having another tab open, the web browser on the side. And when you see that you can have multiple things open at once with the super fast SSD and the quick resume of the Series X, that's the feature that I want back. I want to be able to have a YouTube video on the side playing, you know, of whether it's a video podcast or just, I don't know, like AEW Dark on Tuesday, and I'll just be playing on the other side. Like, that shit would be, I mean, just perfection. You know what I'm saying? Absolute perfection. Now, they didn't show that you can do that with PlayStation, but the fact that they already got the snap feature there, I don't see why you wouldn't let them do that. Like, have Netflix on and, you know, do another thing. Now, that's another thing. They didn't show anything like quick resume related. Like, they jumped from Sackboy into the Destruction All-Star game, whatever that game is called. Yeah, they jumped into that, but they jumped in from the beginning. Now, it doesn't matter. It's an online game. If you're going to play online, you're always going to get kicked. You know how online games are. Once it loses the connection when you go into something else, it's going to kick you. But you press A 2 times and you're back online and you jump in. That's going to happen with Call of Duty. That's going to happen with Rocket League. That's going to happen with anything. If you had quick resume on the Switch, it would happen with Splatoon. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, like, man, let me mention Splatoon real quick, because I'm all over the place real quick, but I'm going to mention something real quick. People who act like quick resume don't matter, right? Because PlayStation don't got it. That we know of right now. It's fantastic. And I've been saying this the whole time from when I got the Xbox One X. I said, oh, yo, it's cool that, you know, I could go and watch a YouTube video, go back to the game, and it'll still be there. It won't close. Like, you know, like Splatoon, you go to the home screen, you get all the way thrown back. Now, let's use Splatoon as an example. People claim they don't like, they don't, not that they don't like, they don't care for quick resume. I'm not going to ever use that. Yes, you are. You play video games, you're fucking going to use it. That is not an opinion. That is a fact. You play one game, you play another game. Guess what? Even if you never play the other game for a long time, it takes you a minute to come back to it. When you come back to it, it'll still be there, ready to be resumed. Even if you unplug the goddamn console from the outlet, you're going to use this feature. Let me explain this. As I said, Splatoon. Imagine never, ever fucking ever having to hear whether it was Callie and Marie or the other two. You know what I'm saying? Pearl and Marie. Like, yo, you never having to hear Marine and Pearl ever again. Like, yo, heaven. Because they won't take out the feature, that shit would make it so that, yeah, we never close that game. Always open, Splatoon. You jump on, it'll be like lost connection. Bring you back right to the plaza, reconnect, jump right back into your goddamn lobby and search for a match. It would be glorious. Quick resume is fucking fire. And I've been said this. Yo, the PC don't even got this feature. That's a revolutionary thing. I'm not saying that because I'm hating. I'm saying that because it's the truth. When I went from Forza 7 this week I went from Forza 7 to, what the hell did I say that I was playing? Oh yeah, I played Absolver, this game Absolver, just to get some Microsoft points. I went from Forza 7 to that, to Katana Zero, to Call of Duty, right? I could have did that without ever having to see an intro screen to none of those games. It would have saved me time. That's a good thing. 100% a positive. And right now, when I decided to go back on my Xbox and play any of those games I just named, I wouldn't have to see the title screen. It would just jump right back into it. It's awesome. You got fast as SSD. What you doing with it? That's what I've been saying. What are they using it for? And that statement became even more true once you saw that Spider-Man was on PlayStation 4. So then it became even more factual when I was saying, what are they using it for? Where are these games? Yeah, the speed. We see that. But we seeing that speed be utilized more on Xbox to do more innovative things. So what happens when this UI comes out? Reset ever PlayStation, fanboy home, like I always say. It's not hanging, it's the truth. They had damn near a 30-page thread because somebody mentioned how the Xbox Series X OS isn't in 4K. Now, supposedly this is true, but I'm going to tell y'all facts based on the person who you're about to go and sit and watch a 1-hour deep dive on me with the OS. The OS that at that moment was in 1080p. The way it looked to me from, like, in that video, the way you see it in that video, the way it looked to me there, it is not the way my OS looks when I put my Xbox directly in my TV and not in my capture card. When it goes to 4K, everything is, checked where you see everything 4K checked. Yeah. When you do that and you go to your home screen, the colors pop, everything pop. And here's the thing. They could say it's 1080p and like it's a negative. It's not a negative. It never was a negative. Nobody ever cared on PlayStation 4. Now because the PlayStation 5 when it's 4K, it's better. Here's the thing though. The 1080p, supposedly, 1080p, no, I'm not going to say supposedly. It is what it is. Let's say it's 1080p. It's 1080p, right? That keeps more jiggly wigglies for developers to use. That doesn't go into OS stuff. That's a positive. You want to know why? Because on the Xbox OS, there's nothing that you can't do. And you'll see when you see my video after this. The other point I wanted to make, I posted a picture on Discord not too long ago, and I showed my background. And at that time, it wasn't the Age of Calamity background. It was a Harley Quinn background. Tell your story about that Harley Quinn background. That Harley Quinn background was a 4K image. I was looking at 4K images. I saw that one. I said, cool, I'll take this one. I put it on the background. Right? No, I'm lying. I downloaded it to my memory stick, which you're gonna hear me mention in this, OS video that you're gonna watch after this. I downloaded that image to that on my 1080p TV. When I tried to set it as the background, I couldn't even see the image on my 1080p TV because it was a 4K image. It said file not supported, some shit like that, and gave you some error code. I connected the Xbox to the 4K TV. I can see the image now. Image pops up. Now I get it. This is looking at an image that can probably be 4K, where everything else you're doing is 1080p. Fine. But remember what I just told you, all the tiles, everything looks so much sharper and cleaner when it's on my 4K TV. You could say it's upscaling, whatever the case may be, but when I press info on my TV, it doesn't say 1080p when I'm on my OS. It then switches to 21 by 60, whatever that shit is, the 4K when I'm on the game. No, it's 21 whatever, by 3, whatever it is, the 4K, goddamn format. It's that the whole time throughout. So it looks mad. I'm like, yo, I don't notice that. And in the background, here's the kicker. I could put the background on, and I see it in the background. It's 4K pretty. It looks pretty. And then when I go to the 1080p TV, the background is there. And it looks a tiny bit compressed on the 1080p. So I don't know what it is. I'm telling you this because these are my facts. I don't know what it is. But with that 4K image, it didn't work on the background on a 1080p screen. But when you put it on the 4K screen, it worked. And everything looks clean on the 4K screen. I'm not lying. I'm not making this up. I'm not saying this because I'm a fanboy. It's the truth. I look at it. I'm like, yo, look how everything pops. My girl even said, damn, look at the way the tiles look here compared to the 1080p. I'm like, yeah. Even down to the Age of Calamity background. When I look at it on my 1080p TV, you don't see the little marks on Zelda. But then when I look at it on my 4K TV, I can see that the image is a 1080p image, because it looks a little blurry, and I can see mad details like the marks on the art, on Zelda's arm, on her face, on Link's face, and I'm like, well, barely Link's face because, all the tiles don't let you really see too much of your Xbox background, but that is the truth. So clearly, there's something 4K there because it's my TV saying it's 4K, everything looks better, and the 4K images wouldn't work unless I was on the 4K TV. That's just the truth that I'm throwing out there. So I'm not trying to sit here and be like, yo, they lying, they're this and that. I'm just telling you what my actual hands-on experience is. And another thing, that OS is smooth, sleek, beautiful. Everything about it I like. And when you watch this video, see how everything you could possibly want is right there at the tip of your fingertips. And a lot of the narrative that you hear about the Xbox OS being this or being that, isn't my experience at all, isn't true. You can see it right there, hands on, in real time. That is the new Xbox OS, and that's not including like the animated backgrounds that are on the Series X version and stuff like that. But beyond that, yeah, this is like the cleanest around the edges. This is the new update, and it's awesome. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I'm not trying to take nothing away from the PlayStation OS. It's a goddamn OS. I get it. You want your OS to be able to do stuff, which is, you know, one of my negatives of the Switch, that it's such a lifeless console. But they have, you know, your party chats and all the things that you can want to actually, you know, supplement your games and make your gaming experience great. It's all there. So at the end of the day, it's a means to an end. What I will just say, I'm comfortable with my Xbox OS, and I'm comfortable with the way Microsoft designed it. The God button, when you press the goddamn Xbox button, you bring it up, your God button, everything being there. You're gonna see me talk about this, but you compare that to the goddamn giant cards that you got to keep scrolling. It's like, dude, Microsoft team has made it so that it's so easy to get around and get to places from multiple areas in the console. You never even gotta go back to the home screen. Like, it's cool, like, as hell. And that's why when I hear people talk about, oh, I'm like, man, you don't use your system. Get out of here. And the way you could customize is like you could customize it. So it's like anything that you have issue with, make it your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy, man, that these dudes who went from a week ago talking about, not even a week ago, it was a few days ago, they had a thread on there talking about, is it important that we haven't seen a PlayStation UI? The shit was literally unanimous. No, it's not important. I just want to play games, da da da. To then it being a problem and people trying to make excuses why, oh, Xbox is horrible. They got a 1080p UI, da da da. Like, yo, y'all for real? The same ones who sit there and be like, oh yeah, I like the Switch because it's quick and I could just get into my game. That's what I'm telling you. This is where we at. All that shit that they used to do to Nintendo is what they do to Microsoft now. It's corny as hell, and the PlayStation fans are mad whack, transparent. They were trying to make that into a bigger thing than it isn't a thing, but they try to make it into a thing. And then they also try to like make some bullshit Reddit nobody who mentioned, oh yeah, the Xbox gets hot. Like, nobody knows if this person owns an Xbox or not, and they're like, oh yeah, the Xbox has overheating problems. They was trying to share that, and it's like, no, it don't. Everybody who owns an Xbox, like, this shit is nothing about this console is hot. It's quiet. It's perfect. It's amazing. That's all the previews have been saying. And then these guys are trying to push this false narrative. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, listen, man, I would love for Xbox fans to do the same to PlayStation, but they can't. You want to know why? Because nobody got a fucking PlayStation. Nobody's played PlayStation. I mean, yeah, like a handful of people in Japan did. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't being transparent with this console at all. At all. Still, even with their rollout of stuff, it's like you compare it to what's going on, like with everybody else. It's not the same. It is not the same. And then I'm seeing people like, oh yeah, the Xbox One is just the same old, same old. I like this one because it's new. I'm like, yeah, but you don't know how to use it. Now you got to learn how to get around. You don't know if you can move tiles around. You don't know what you could customize, what you can't. You don't know if that stuff will be in place. Fold. There's nothing, none of that. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because they're starting from scratch. When Microsoft is like, everything you possibly want, it works here better. And all the issues that you had before, they actually fix using the actual audience, the fans who, you know, basically are part of the insiders program, and they do the surveys and they say, hey, listen, we want this, we want that, maybe. And that's legitimately what they do and what they use in order to make the user experience best for their users. Those are the facts, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, before I wrap this up, I want to mention the fact that Katana Zero, the game that came out exclusively first on Nintendo Switch, hit Game Pass the other day. I want to say like 2 days ago. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit, just see how it is. I ended up playing about 2 hours, and
Go to vehicle.
Friendly UAV overhead.
I'll drive. I'm moving.
strike. Take cover. Enemy UAV overhead.
Target marked. Send it.
This is Striker 3-1. Good copy. Strike inbound.
Enemy attack dropping in the AO. Bring it down and recover the
Impact. No joy.
I'll drive. I'll take the wheel. Marked a helo for us. I'm your pilot. I'll fly. Care package marked. I'll take the stick. I'm your pilot.
Secure all cash you find.
I'll fly. I'm your pilot. Moving out. Moving out.
Be advised, enemy team is tracking your location.
I'll take it.